Hey guys, what it do? I'm back in the building right along with Beauty in Black. I am so excited about the episode that I saw. Episode one was fire. We're talking about season two, episode one. It was definitely fire. I am getting ready to tell you how I feel about what I saw. Did you see what I saw? Did you see what I saw before I tell you what I saw? Hmm. Anyway, Beauty in Black season two, episode one. Kimmie looks beautiful, beautiful. And what I love the most about Kimmie this on this day is that she didn't have on those caterpillars, y'all. She got rid of the eyelashes. I don't know if they were. I don't know eyelashes because I don't wear them. I don't know if these were like the. I don't know. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but they look like caterpillars. At least a whole little tribe of caterpillars. But anyway, let's get into it. I'm so excited. The first scene was when they were in the hospital, and Rain's face when Horace coughed. I know a lot of you are like, okay, what are you talking about? First scene, Horace coughed, and Rain just looked like she smelled something. I do not care for her character. I didn't care for her character in the last season. And if you want to hear what I said in my recap about the last season, is right here. I just don't really care for her. I feel like she, from the beginning, brought Kimmie down. If you remember from the first episode, when I believe they were in Walmart and she had no place to go, Kimmie had no place to go, and then she introduced her to Angel. They got on the plane, and that's when they got in trouble. I think that she led her down. She pulled her down into a hole. She led her to hell, because you have to remember when Kimmie went to that, I believe it was like a conference, and Mallory was there representing Beauty in Black, and Kimmie just worshipped Mallory. But there was Rain talking about, we got to go to work, and what are you doing here? This is some garbage. She pissed me off. And her attitude basically has been the same way. She said last season pretty much that dancing is all she knows. We're not going any further. You go and take a look at what you're trying to take a look at, but we ain't going no further. I'm a stripper, and this is what I do. But anyway, moving forward, I don't really care for Rain, and I hope that over time they just dilute her character, because she's too far in. Well, let me say this. Horace still wants to see Angel. I said this before, and I hope that it's true. I hope that, and I said this before, I hope that those lemons that Mallory was bringing to him every day was something that was slowly poisoning him, and that is not cancer. And I'll tell you the reason why. What was the significance of her saying that she brought him lemons and she brings them every day? This was the final episode. I believe it was the final episode of season one. If not the final episode, the episode before that, but I'm pretty sure that it was the final episode in season one. She brings him these lemons. Why? I hope that these lemons have his brain just going in a whole nother direction. And that's why he's looking for Angel. That's why he was always looking at Angel. I could be wrong. That's the romantic inside of me. I've just lost my train of thought. He's looking for Angel. Angel is in jail. Angel's in jail, but somehow he's going to get out of there. Angel is just too pretty to be in jail. He's just too pretty. He's never going to make it. He's too soft. He's never going to make it. Norman is still talking about his wife. Now, almost said Sylvester, I still got school on the brain. Last season, he kept making reference to where is my wife. They not where's my wife. They killed my wife. Who killed my wife? Always my wife. And so here he comes talking about his wife. Now, I know further on they're going to get back into that. I don't know where they are going with this, but I believe that later on in the season that it's going to come up with Roy, because Roy hates Mallory. He's done this cover up for Mallory, and he's going to hold this over her head. Not sure how. Jules spoke to Rain when she came from behind those doors leading into the lobby of the hospital. He's still talking stuff. What are you talking about? You might as well be quiet before somebody tells your wife that's living out there in the in smack dab in the middle of the suburbs with your daughter. Just shut your face. Also, every time I see Jules, y'all don't judge me, but I'm distracted by his lips. Because why? He looks like they're always puckered up and that he uses not Vaseline, but what's that other stuff? I used to use it all the time and they used to tease me. Uh, I got some right here in the drawer. It'll come back to me. I can't think of what the name is. But anyway, it's the sister to Vaseline. And he needs to quit. Stop poking him out. It really looks terrible and it's distracting. Charles. Who does not love Charles? I love Charles because he's a free spirit. He's inappropriate, but a lot of people are. But he's a free spirit and he's unbothered. If you look in the dictionary, his face is next to the word unbothered. He just don't care. You cannot upset him. He does not care. He's going to do what he's going to do. And if you don't like it, you can kick rocks. That's his attitude. I love it. I really do love it. Roy and Mallory headed down the road, headed back to the house. Why did Roy take off his ring? Boy, don't nobody care about you. Mallory is going to still do Mallory, whether you're her husband or not. Now, I'm wondering if they have to remain married in order for them to get their shares. I wonder if that's the case. Maybe not, but I hope that it is. Because keep these two dummies together. Keep these two dummies together to keep them away from other people. Roy is just, well, he was. Okay, we'll get back to that. But Roy was just so adamant about Varney, attorney Varney. He's convinced that he and Mallory were sleeping together. And that draws back from the last episode. Now, he getting ready to find out in the end that Varney ain't giving it up to nobody except for Charles. I'll get back to that. But anyway, so I'd like to see how Roy and Mallory are going to get into it about this killing of Norman's wife and what role that's going to play in the story. What role is that going to play in the story? Is he going to be out for blood or no? Roy, he is so pissed about Kimmie now becoming not only a family member, but a boss. He wants to lay hands on Kimmie, but guess what? He can't. He can't do that. He can't. It's not going to happen. So he might as well give it up or get slammed. In my notes, I put that Attorney Varney's lips are dry also. These lips, they distract me. I don't know what it is, but these lips, they certainly do distract me. Horace cut up on Kimmie about asking questions. He told her, pay attention. And you can see the anger in his eyes, or maybe not anger, but the sternness in his eyes. Like, stop asking me all these questions. Get into it. I got you covered. Let's go. That's how I saw that. But that was crazy. Now, I spoke about this in my recap of Beauty and Black season 1. I'm interested in knowing if Horace is really going to die. I hope that this thing that he has for Angel is connected to these limits. They gave him a cognitive test to see, of course, if he's cognitive so that he can make the decision to marry Kimmie. I'm hoping that it was the limits because I know a lot of us ladies are going to be so disappointed if Horace leaves the show. It's not just because he's an attractive man. I think for me, it's his power. I think that's what it does for me. It's his power, the way he runs things, the way he's going to fix them, whether he got to get his hands dirty or not. I love it. Please don't take Horace away from us. Please. Don't take him away from us. Anyway, but yeah, he is still he's still handling business from bed. But what got me is he's getting oxygen. Okay. When I've had to get oxygen, get out my face. Don't talk to me. I'm having a hard enough time accepting the fact that air is being blown into my body. Can't stand it. But he's handling it. He's still talking stuff. He gonna run it from the behind the scenes. Going through my notes, guys. Charles stay thinking about putting his log in somebody else's fire, and he don't care what Varney has to say. I think that it would have to be Varney would have to get hurt for Charles to even pretend like he cares. Does he care a little bit? A little. But his thing is he's going to do what he wants to do, and Varney's not going to go anywhere. I would love to see Varney in another relationship or in a relationship at all, because Charles is doing him. He's ready to go to the club. He don't care about nothing. He's going to the club tonight. But now, and I was saving this for the end, but we're not quite at the end. Now, Roy has walked in. This was at the closing scene. Roy has walked in and he's seen all he needs to see. Now, I don't know what he can do with this information. Maybe he's going to use this to get Varney out of there. I could be way off. I don't know what he could do with this information, because Charles don't care about nobody knowing that he played for the other team. He don't care about that because everybody already knows. I believe that Horace knows, because he made reference to it when he and Varney were sitting out, I guess, next to the pool talking last season. And it might have been a final episode or an episode prior to that. I'm kind of divided on that, because a lot of times people who are playing for the other team have an issue with people who are playing for the other team. Please don't let Horace be playing for the other team, guys. We need to hold him up in prayer. Anyway, moving on, and I'm rushing through this because I am behind on so many podcasts. I'm behind because, well, I had out of town guests and things got crazy. People were in and out and in for the last few days. I'm just now getting back to catching up on all my stuff. But Charles, he's headed to the strip club. He don't care. But it was funny when he was on the phone with attorney. I like saying attorney Varney, it just because it rhymes. When he was on the phone with him, he was trying to get off the phone so bad. He was like, I got something on the other line. Varney was like, no, you don't. He said the other line of coke. I almost lost my fluids. That was cleverly written, Tyler. That was that jam. But that was hilarious to me. And Varney, he's just, at the end, he seemed fed up. But when he told Charles that he loves him, and Charles was like, okay, basically, what you want me to do about it? What? But anyway, I'll get back to that. They gave clothes to Rain to go home from the hospital. They weren't real cute clothes as the story went on, but they gave her clothes. Now, where I stay, if you get sick, you're going home in some hospital pants. And yes, they do have hospital pants that match the hospital gowns. You can either wear them together or you can wear them apart. But they do have hospital pants. But I guess it's different here because this hospital is top tier. But here, I have had to wear hospital pants. It's not sexy. But anyway, Rain is going to take her ghettoism wherever she goes. It would take time for her to be, they need to give her some etiquette classes. Now with Kimmie can make the transition. Kimmie, to me, came from a little something. She has a bit of decorum. That Rain, that heifer, she don't have it. And she's not going to ruin it for Kimmie. But I believe that Kimmie is going to get frustrated with her as the season wears on. I could be wrong, but we all going to sit down. We all going to look. We all going to watch to see what's going to happen there. But there is hope for Kimmie. There's hope for Kimmie in all of this because she listens well. She used discretion. she realizes when she says that she has doubt because it's normal. Now, Rain, she's all in. We got this. We this, we that. Okay, first of all, we not nothing. You coming along for the ride. And if you get out of order up, I hope that they don't put her in the wheel. Because if they do, that means that we have to look at Rain for the rest of our Beauty and Black days. We have to look at her because if she's in there, she's in there. So now we're looking at Sylvie being in there, Rain, and Angel. For what? Angel is his eye candy, or how horse's eye candy, or however you want to put it. I saw in the previews that something's going to go on with Sylvie. My guess, guys. My guess, and I could be way off because I wasn't expecting the club to survive this, but they got to keep the club going. My guess is, and I could be way off, because something's going to happen with Sylvie. Sylvie might end up at the club. She might. Don't throw stones. Don't tar me in front of the townspeople. But something I believe is going to happen with Sylvie because she's young. That's fine. She's very naive. That's okay. But she's also, I could see her being rebellious because she don't believe nothing. She's always why, what, how, when. She's one of those. Just shut up, put your seatbelt on, and enjoy this ride. But she's not going to do it. She has too many questions, and maybe she's going to feel like she needs more attention. Maybe she's going to get strung out. I think that something's going to go down with this child, but we'll see. I could be wrong, but we'll be watching. I thought their body was dead. Why is she still here? I guess she's here. Maybe she's going to be paired up with Jules some more because Delinda is gone. Delinda, who's the furniture that they were making reference to, I thought that was very clever. It was a good way of keeping this from Kimmie. I mean, not Kimmie, I'm sorry, from Sylvie. She's not ready. But body's in the hospital. So I don't know how that's going to work out, but she's not going to be able to step to Kimmie at all. Not at all, guys. You gotta excuse this noise because in between me turning my note page and the fan going in the back because it's back hot again here in Detroit. But anyway, hopefully you guys don't hear it and you're not distracted by it. The family was sick about the change in the wheel. Everybody was sick, and the thing about it is, Horace can easily change his will. They weren't thinking about that. I think they were all fixated on the fact that the grandfather made things the way that they are, and you cannot change. You cannot modify the grandfather's will. You can't do it. But Horace can, and that was the reason why he married Kimmie, so that he can do that. So now their shares are diluted. The thing is, Varney was telling Charles that, let me get the numbers right. Okay, the shares are diluted by 10%. Now I know the more money that we make, the more money we're going to spend. And it's hard to go backwards because you become accustomed to that type of life. Now, if 10% is $8 million off of Charles's share, Charles is still very rich. He's still very rich. And I think that that's what he's looking at. He's looking like, okay, this is not going to affect me. But the thing is, Charles, he's a druggie. He's always about partying. It was funny when Kimmie, I think that was Kimmie. Was it Kimmie that called him out about coming out of the restroom, having done what he did in there? Charles don't care. He give less than two, you know what's. But Roy, he's gotten over the fact that he believed that Varney was sleeping with Mallory. This was funny. When Roy said that Mallory was displaying the resting bitch face, that was clever. I'm just wondering, is Tyler writing all this? Cause he's coming from a whole nother direction. Like, is he writing all this, or does he have a team on this? It sounds like him, but it's exaggerated just a little bit. Mallory talked about Roy's erectile dysfunction. It's permanent. She said, or maybe he said it, that he said that it was just her, not with other girls. Based on Kimmie and what we saw, it still don't work. It still don't work. Just go ahead and sit down somewhere. Jules is still pimping. He's getting ready to get Roy another girl. There still ain't gonna be nothing popping. But he's getting ready to get Roy another girl. I want to know how Roy feels like it. I'm sorry, I meant to say Jules. I want to know how Jules thinks that all of this is going to play out with everything being out in the open. Maybe because Horace hasn't said anything about shutting things down, or has he? It sounds like he thought that the whole organization was a mess, although he has participated in it as he was going to see Angel. Whole thing is a mess. Whole thing is a mess. Now, Felicia, the stripper, she runs a hard bargain. We didn't really start seeing her to the end of last season. So I guess now she's getting ready to be the big girl, or it girl, at the club. Mallory went from $1,000 to $3,000. Did she go to $10,000? But I think that she stiffed Felicia once before. She didn't give her the money that she said she was going to give her. If Felicia had been smart, she would have had to Zelle me. I'm not sure if there's a limit on how much you can send. There's definitely a limit on Cash App. Is it Cash App per day, or in a large sum of money, you can only do so much, and you can only withdraw so much money from the ATM. But there had to be a way. She would have had to send it through Zelle, through Venmo, through Cash App, Western Union, whatever folks are doing now. But Felicia wasn't buying it. She was like, okay, give up the money or get off my phone. No, Mallory did not say, Siri, call her 10,000 times. I have never. No, Siri didn't start talking. I don't even use Siri. Y'all gotta ignore her. Hold 1 second. Just 1 second. I'm sorry, I shouldn't even mention her name. So we'll just say Siri. She told her to redial 10,000 times. And this was funny that my phone just did that, because I don't even use that service. But anyway, moving forward, Felicia's not for it. Now, I don't know how this is going to work up. Maybe Mallory's going to show up to the club. I guess she's going to have to, because she needs this information. I don't know what she thinks she's going to gain by finding out something about Kimmie. All the information is out there. There's nothing else to find. Everything that she has done has either been covered up by Horace, or Horace got this. He's going to fix it. So I don't know what Mallory thinks that she's going to find. She should probably just have several seats. And I'll pull out the first one for her, because she needs to sit down. They act like Horace is not even dying for real. Some of them. Because it's business as usual. I guess all of them do. It's business as usual. Mallory is getting ready to go to work. She got her desk. Charles is still going to be at the club. He got his shares and he's pleased with it. Roy's still trying to get some. He's fine with that. He's trying to get it up. Jules is still getting ready to be a pimp. Norman's still worried about what happened to his wife. Now, I can't remember the wife's name. Horace's ex-wife. I don't remember what her angle is, but everybody's still pretty much back to business. Now, Kimmie appears or arrives at the house, staff ready, staff on deck. She ready. Well, I'm not going to say she's ready, because she is trying to figure out how she's going to work all this. Rain is acting like she's a boss, and you're not. You're not. You're barely on the team, and I hope that they bench her real soon. But I think that what they're going to do, and I could be way off, because it was significant the way they showed Glenn, the stable guy, that meant something. That means that he's going to have a role, and he's about to start some trouble with Ray. I could be so off. You guys leave a comment down below and we can talk about this. We can argue about this. I can accept what you're saying and be like, okay, you know what? You could be right. You could be very well right. But anyway, that's crazy. That's crazy. We're going to see if they give Rain a real role. But she needs to be shut down. She needs to be sliced down. But because this was the first episode, it's going to be a minute. It's going to be a minute. But her character needs to be watered down. I think that the ending of this episode was extra juicy. I love it. I love it. But I'm just wondering what Roy can do with this information other than finding a way to get rid of Varney. But who needs him? Because Horace already has another team in place that's watching what what Varney is doing. That's very smart. You got a lawyer on top of a lawyer. Lawyers on top of a lawyer. I love it. He already has it made in his mind, and he has made it clear that no one is to be trusted. I'll say this before I leave. Did you notice how much profanity everybody was using? I don't cuss, but I noticed it. They used the N-word so many times, especially when Rain called the driver a Japa, you know what? That was clever. Now, some reason, I don't trust him. I don't trust him. But Horace wants to keep him on. Maybe he wants to keep him on because he knows too much. I don't know, but I don't trust the driver. But anyway, guys, I'll be back with episode 2 very soon. In closing, I want to say that this episode was thumbs up. It was juicy, for real. I'll be back.